2, 3, 4.
Good morning, everybody. Hi everyone, this is Jewish Talk, coming to you live from Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHBC, streaming live on the college station, the iHeart app, and the iTunes.com. This program is reposted and archived the whole week on Spreaker.com. Don't forget, you can join us right now in the studio by going to my Facebook Live. And, of course, my name is Rabbi Perl, and today I'm here with a special local leader, my good friend Ameer Benno, to help us prepare for Rosh Hashana. So welcome, Ameer.
Thank you, Rabbi.
Unbelievable. Ameer means, any special meaning? What Ameer means?
Ameer is the crown of the tree. It's the apex of the tree.
In what language?
It's in Hebrew.
In Hebrew. Ameer is the top of the... Well, that's fantastic. We are coming now to the crown of the new year.
We are.
On Rosh Hashana. And a lot of people ask me, Rabbi, how are you preparing for Rosh Hashana? And rabbis are doing a lot of preparing. I'm preparing jokes, of course, for the sermon.
That's the most important.
That's the most important thing. In fact, yesterday I had to find my sermon in the Chabad Shul in Mineola. I told everybody no joke this week because I'm keeping it for Rosh Hashana.
You gotta save them.
I gotta save them, and
there's only so many.
There's so many to go around. Yeah. But
where do you find your jokes?
Well, amongst the Chabad rabbis, we share jokes. I go online sometimes to fit in with the theme. Yeah. And but Rosh Hashanah is far from it's a serious time, and people ask how do we really prepare? And there's so many different. Obviously, as a rabbi, I have to prepare, make sure the shul's in order and everything else. I'm just wondering, any particular way you're preparing for Rosh Hashanah?
Well, certainly my wife has been cooking for a long time. We're going to. You're cooking and freezing, that seems to be we're having a lot of family and friends over. We're going to spend the first night of Rosh Hashanah, Erev Rosh Hashanah, at my sister-in-law's house. She's going to have the whole mishpacha. And then, but then, obviously what we do also with our children, we've got 3 girls, is we spend time talking about the importance of Rosh Hashanah. So there's the cooking part of the preparation for the family, and then there's talking to them about it so that they really can appreciate the significance of it.
I wonder how many people really know that why the Jewish New Year always falls out in this September time. And it doesn't coincide typically like with the January 1st. And the truth is, it's actually on the Jewish calendar to coincide with the 6th day of creation. So the first day of Rosh Hashanah is actually the 6th day of creation when Adam and Eve were created. So Rosh Hashanah, the Jewish New Year, is not associated with the beginning of the Jewish religion or the Torah at Mount Sinai, but the universal appreciation of God creating mankind. Adam and Eve, and that day of importance and knowing. And Adam and Eve were created alone, as opposed to all the animals and the birds and the vegetation came like en masse. But when it came to creating human beings, it was just one man, one woman, Adam and Eve. To emphasize that every one of us should look at each other that way, as being unique and something important to give to the world, and that our actions can make a difference for the entire world, just like Adam and Eve were all by themselves. They were the only human beings, right. And they had everything ahead of them. So that's why Rosh Hashanah is a very important time. Part of the preparation, of course, is the blowing of the shofar, is blowing the shofar. And I'm going to try, in honor of you coming here this morning, and in honor of all of us here, I'd like to share the blowing of the shofar here. And we all know that rabbis like to blow their own horn. And so it's interesting, the sounds, they start off with a straight sound, tekiah. Then it's like a staccato broken sounds. Then it ends with a very strong, long tekiah gadola. And in life, this represents that when we're first born, things are, everything goes good. We have the comfort of our parents and the community, and etc. Then as life gets on, sometimes we have staccatos, broken, wailing, sobbing signs, tough times, challenging times. But Rosh Hashanah reminds us that all these difficult sounds are all sandwiched in with strong tekiah sounds that ultimately we're going to make it through.
That's great. That's very inspirational.
So if we're all ready, everybody there, I want to say hello to David Lonick is watching. Steve White's joined us, and Joan Brandenstein and Jonathan Wolf. Oh, that's all the way from New Jersey. Hello there, everybody. Here we go. Oh, Dan Stern, good morning, and Shana Tova. I always remind our listeners and anywhere else I'm blowing the shofar, because you heard it today on Sunday, Erev Labor Day, you still have to go to shul next week. Because you heard the shofar today, it doesn't count.
Not a hall pass.
Right. Now, one of the things I'm sure with your children, your wife and the family, we dip, of course, the apple in honey. And one of the things that I discovered years ago, that most of us kind of cut the apple wrong, right? The apple, right? And typically people take an apple and we cut it this way, right? Vertically.
From the stem down,
The stem down. But if we cut it this way across, right, which I've done already here, it actually opens up and shows us that around the let me get it right here, around the star, right, there's the star, right, we can see the star there, but around the star there's actually 10 little green dots. If this was a little more fresh, you would see, but there's actually around that 1, 2, 3, around that. Open up your apples today, try it out afterwards, and you can buy the apples anywhere you want. They're
all made the same way.
Got to make it easy for us. But the significance, Amir, is that our year should be sweetened by what these 10 dots represent. They represent the 10 Commandments. And we dip it in the honey to say this year should be filled with the sweetness of the blessings of doing the right things and Torah and learning and doing good deeds.
Yeah, that's terrific. That's great.
Everybody,
I didn't even know that there were 10 dots, but I knew there was a star.
But you're a lawyer as well, right? So if you open up your apple and don't find the 10, I would suggest
I send it back.
You send it back or stop. Sue. You got to sue them. Right? You got to sue them for. Oh, fantastic! Now this year, Amir, I know there's going to be like a rather serious side added to our Rosh Hashana, because the second day is 9/11 this year. And anything you could add to it? I've been thinking a lot about what the connection, juxtaposition, coming together of Rosh Hashana and 9/11.
Wow. Well, I'll tell you that. I was there on the day of 9/11. I was actually at the base of the towers.
You worked there?
Well, no, I didn't work at the towers. I worked at the Manhattan District Attorney's office at the time, and I was walking to work, and I came out of the subway right after the second plane had hit, and so I was staring up at it, and so it's one of those days that's sort of seared into my memory. But one of the takeaways from it, and one of the things that I think can apply to Rosh Hashanah, is the sense that we are, life is so precious, and it can come and it can go in the blink of an eye, and we shouldn't spend our time everybody's locking horns and fighting with each other, but we really should be trying to connect with our with other people, and bridging those divides and making the most of the time that we have, because it's you never know. You never know what's going to happen, and that was an awful tragedy. But I think it's really important, especially in today's environment, that people are sensitive to each other and try to bridge gaps instead of wedge apart.
I reminded when 9/11, where I was, when I was actually in my shul, and I'd gone upstairs. For some odd reason, they'd forgotten to turn off the air conditioning in the synagogue from the Sabbath. So I'd gone upstairs. This was a Tuesday, if I remember right. 9/11, I think it was a Tuesday. Yep. So these 3 days later, I went upstairs, and I was fiddling around with the
air conditioning.
The air conditioning to turn it off, and that's when it hit. And like the whole office and everybody was like, "Did you hear, Rabbi? Did you hear?" We went, everything else. The next few days, everyone who we typically, all of us, interact with, the mailman, the gas station, the store person, suddenly you had a different appreciation for everybody around us. Sometimes, like you just said, we get so sidetracked with everything in our own focus that the people who either help us or part of our lives, we just... but it's a shame that after these many years, 17 years now, right? it's also worn away, this kind of feeling, right? So we remember it, but do we take the lesson from, like you say, to appreciate each other?
Right.
Oh my goodness.
It was one of those moments, sort of like you blowing the shofar, that really wakes you up, and you didn't have to be there to really feel the impact of it. But I guess that's what the shofar is on Rosh Hashana. It's supposed to really
to wake us up and to remind us of that day. I'm reminded that I read a story that a rabbi went to a synagogue in Jerusalem, and in a very Sephardic synagogue, they have a beautiful ark, beautiful, but right next to it, on a separate section with a light on it, they have an empty coffin. Literally in the synagogue, an empty coffin. And when he asked the rabbi there, he said, "What is this?" He explained it was to remind us when we come to synagogue every day how life is so precious,
right?
And not to wait when it's too late,
right?
Not to wait when it's too late. I heard that there's a man there who went to his wife's funeral, and the rabbi said, "We're over now. Like, come on, look." He said, "No, I have to stay. It's over. It's over." He said, I want to tell my wife how I love her." He said, I was so busy with myself, I never verbalized. So I think Rosh Hashanah and 9/11 is a reminder of how serious life is, and how short life is, and how to make every moment count, and not just talk about it, but actually feel that way, and make a difference in one's own life and people's around us. Tomorrow in the United States is Labor Day, and of course that marks the end of the summer, but also a little bit of remind us about school going, right? Kids going back to school, right? And also Rosh Hashanah is around the corner.
That's right. Yeah, it's important to have those breaks, those times, I think, where you pause and pull yourself out of those things that occupy your mind, and take sort of an account of your surroundings and your blessings, and where you fell short, and be able to have a clean break from one year to the next, to collect your thoughts, say, what, now this is what I'm going to do going forward, and to start fresh.
It's amazing what you're saying is so beautiful, Amir. The Rabbi, or Lubavitcher Rebbe, once pointed out, why do we need a nighttime? Couldn't we accomplish more if he programmed us to work 24 hours?
Right.
Why need day and night? Just let it be all daytime.
Right.
I'm sure the employers would love that. But he explained that exactly what you said, that nighttime, besides all the other natural importance of, is to create a break, that even if a person looks at one day and didn't accomplish everything, the break gives them time to ponder, to pause, to be thoughtful, and know that a new day is coming, and he can have another chance to make up or to continue from strength to strength. So you're right. Rosh Hashanah reminds us of the importance of creation of the world, and why God created the world, and our responsibility to make an impact on this world.
Yeah, and if it didn't stop, if you didn't have that break, I would imagine you'd sort of get into a funk, and then you'd never be able to pull yourself out of it. You'd just be like
a routine, and there would be.
You need to have a.
To me, a new day always gives you new hope as well.
That's right.
And also, the things come constantly. There's no sense of gratitude. So when a person goes to sleep, wakes up, he appreciates. He can still see, hear, taste. The body's working, thank God.
Right.
Everybody around us is alive, thank God. If you had a conscious, you wouldn't notice. So I think going to sleep, or in this sense, pausing on Rosh Hashanah, gives us a chance to look around and appreciate, give gratitude. Yeah,
and hopefully be able to realize what's important in life, and where what your blessings are, and to focus on those things, and doing good deeds, and reaching out to the community, and participating in the community.